Today I'm going to share with you 3 simple things I use to drop 20 pounds in 9 weeks. It's not something you want to do. This ain't your video. Alright, where are we starting? What's going on?
I don't remember.
The number one thing you need in order to lose weight or fat would definitely be a calorie deficit. You have to be in a calorie deficit for your body to utilize the stored up fat. You need to be under your calories of what your body is burning every day. That's what a deficit is. Now, this deficit can be created with movement or taking in less calories. That is the number one way, no matter what you're eating or what you're doing, the basic of your weight loss, the way what your body weighs will be determined to your calories you take in and how much energy your body is using. So if you're taking in around 2,000 calories and your body is using 1,500, 3,000 calories, if it's using more than what you're taking in, over time your body will slowly keep using mostly fat stored to use energy, and that's how you end up burning the fat off. Average people that want to retain muscle and have worked out and they want to retain muscle, I would shoot for about 2 pounds a week. Now, you see on the internet that there's all these transformations, these crazy things, and it was like, in 3 days I lost 457 pounds and I look like this. Don't believe all the hype on the internet. Most of the stuff's bullshit. Everyone's got an agenda and they're trying to sell you something. Usually, some people, you don't know their situation, you don't know their life, and they're not you. But I would always recommend do 2 pounds a week. If you're doing 2 pounds a week, you're in a great position, and you do that every week consistently. And that's how you can do your goal. That's how you can add up your goal, and you should know where you should be. That is very important. You can overshoot your goal and say, in the next 4 weeks, I want to lose 50 pounds. Very unhealthy and almost impossible, I'm sure, unless you're very obese. Don't shoot for such a hard goal. Do 2 pounds a week and do it consistently. Over 8 weeks, 16 weeks, a little bit more than that. It's great, depending on how much weight you want to lose and where you want to go. It's all individual, is the one thing a lot of people don't tell you. It's very individual. Your goals are individual, and where you want to get is up to you 100%. Not everybody wants to be completely shredded and live that life, and most people don't want to be obese and live that life. So in between somewhere, what you're happy with and where you feel comfortable with, that is sustainable for your life, that's what you need to do. Just the main goal is to try to be as healthy as possible during this situation, during these changes, and during this time. You want to stay healthy no matter what you're doing. One of the easiest things I found also is track your macros. I know people hate hearing this and they sound like it takes forever. It does not take long at all. There's a couple ways to do this. Easiest is you get an app. You either eat throughout the day and then track everything you put in your mouth. Now, when I say everything, I mean absolutely everything. This is where people mess up. They track their macros, they go on a diet, but they can't lose weight. It's because when you're in the middle of meal prepping or you're in the middle of cooking, you eat a couple bites here, a couple bites there. That shit adds up to 300 to 400 to 500 calories, and your whole deficit that you cut for the day is gone. Creamer that goes in your coffee, the olive oil you cook with, the butter you cook with, all these little things that you think don't have that big of an impact, cooking is one of the biggest things. Butter and olive oil. I mean, a tablespoon of olive oil, I think, is like 150 to 200 calories. Just for 1 tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons. I can't remember that off the top of my head, but it's a lot of calories for a little bit, and most people use more than what they think they do. So if you're making 1 chicken breast meal and you're going healthy with chicken breast, rice, and broccoli, and you got that set up to where it's 400 to 500 calories, and that's perfect for you, but you cooked it in 2 to 3, 4 tablespoons of olive oil, you just added 400 to 500 calories of fat in there. It's good fat. But if it was possible to eat 7,000 calories in fruit, you would still gain weight. The calories have to be under your energy. That way, yeah. Calories are under your energy. Have to be. It's the only way your body's going to lose weight and lose fat. I also suggest not trying to look at it as every day, because you're not going to, most people have a hard time hitting their macros or calories at the same every single day. Someone will say you hit 2,000 calories a day. It is really, really, really hard to hit exactly 2,000 calories a day. Then what you do is you'll hit 2100 or you'll hit 18, 15, somewhere 17, 8. You'll be under a little bit, So what I always say is try to do it throughout the week. If you do a week, you do every single day, and at the end of the week, you add it up and you see what your deficit is. And if your deficit will end up anywhere from like 1,500 to 4,500, depending on how aggressive your deficit is going to be, just do it throughout the week. But make sure every day you're in a deficit. Your deficit up here, your calories are a little higher. That won't hurt anything in the long run. Just that day. So get back on track the next day and keep going. Your days will look like this. Some days are good. Some days you hold water. You have too much salt. It's a little heavy. The next day you'll drop off. A couple days you don't lose any weight, and then the next day you drop 2 or 3 pounds. That's what I did. I tracked my weight every single day, sometimes before I went to bed, and then when I wake up. And then once you get your metabolism going and you get that ball rolling with your water intake, you overtake your gallon of water, that flushes water out. So I can lose anywhere from 3 to 7 pounds a night. Like, this is just from water and everything being used with your metabolism throughout the night. This means your metabolism is running really well. When you first start, it's probably going to be a little slower. You probably wake up with maybe 1 to 2 pounds or exactly where you were. Once you get that ball rolling with the water and the food, and your metabolism should definitely start firing, and then you'll see that progression. You'll feel better. You'll get hungrier in the morning, which is great. You need to be hungry. That's one thing people mess up on this. They think you're going to go through this and you're never going to be hungry. You shouldn't be hungry. You shouldn't feel a little tired. You're going to. You're changing. Your body's changing. So as you change, your body's going to send you signals to let you know what's going on. If you need, drink more water, because a lot of people do not drink enough water. If you start feeling hungry, drink some water. Do all that. Fruit is always great. I always recommend fruit or vegetables as a snack just to get something in there. So that's a really good way to do it. As far as your meal timing and when you should eat, because I know this is something else that a lot of people talk about, like you need to eat 5 to 7 meals a day. You can only eat 1 time a day. It's whatever fits your life. Your calories at the end of the day are what matter. If you eat one giant meal all day and it's 2,000 calories, that's hard on most people. Most people don't do that, but you could do it and you'll still lose weight because you only had 2,000 calories all day. If you eat 5 meals and they're 2,000 calories at the end of the day, that's fine. You can do that too. Definitely would recommend trying to put more meals in, like 3 to 4. It's probably your best with maybe a snack in there, just so it's in your calories that you're tracking in your deficit. What I like to do, and I don't want to say intermittent fasting, but even it is intermittent fasting because everyone hears fasting and now it's like some topic. The only thing fasting does, there's no proof for the intermittent fasting that it actually helps your body burn more fat or do anything like that. It's just that it pushes your window a lot farther down. So if I could go to bed we'll just say I stop eating at 6 o'clock in the evening and don't eat again. 6 in the morning comes around, it's 12 hours. And then if I could push it back to about 9 to 10, that gives me a lot longer of not eating window. And then let's say it's 10 a.m. I only have from 10 a.m. to 5 or 6 to eat. So I can shove in 2 or 3 meals, and it's way easier to not hit those calories. Yes, at first in the morning, you're going to be really hungry. You just got to fight through it, have your coffee or your water or do whatever you need to do. And at 5 or 6 o'clock, you're going to be hungry after that at first because you're used to eating snacks. But it allows you to have time for your body to clear out your stuff, to do whatever, to utilize all that food you've eaten and all that nutrients. That is one thing that I did that I think was very beneficial. Keep that in mind. Try that if you think that will fit your life and something that's really good for you. So to give that a try. Another way to create a really good calorie deficit is bring down one of your macros. So the best way to do your macro breakdown when you're doing this, you always have your calories, and then within your calories, your macros will be your proteins, your fats, and your carbs. Your micronutrients will be like your vitamins and vitamin D and all that nice stuff. We won't touch that in this video. I've heard it explained a very good way that your calories is what your body weighs. Your macros is what your body looks like. Your micros are how your body feels. I would always recommend doing high protein, especially when you're cutting or you're doing a diet and you're trying to lose weight, high protein. So I would say if you're not doing protein now and you're just eating whatever you don't know, I would shoot for, a pound of body weight is a gram of protein. If you weigh 170, just start with eating about 170, 150, 170, 180. Shoot for that range every day if you haven't been consistent. Track everything you do for 1 week, just what you're eating now. That would be a great idea. Do whatever you're eating now is a good way to find out. Do that for a week, find out where you're at, and then just start with your body weight. If you're already consuming that, you can move it up higher. And then a lot of people they'll say it's hard to consume that much protein, but you've been consuming way more calories than that every day. You're just getting it off of the hamburgers and the more satiating processed food usually, and definitely the sweets. So the protein, it can be chicken thighs. I'm not going to go through the list. You're going to have to slowly change your macros and bring down your fats and your carbs in order to do that, while your protein should maintain the same. This is good for muscle retention. To regulate your hormones, you definitely need fats. Really good. Salmon is really good. Omega-3s are really good. The way I did it is, I got my proteins to a certain point. What I wanted to do is I shot for 200 to 225, 230 grams of protein a day. It's pretty high, but that works out great. Your body actually burns more calories just to break down the protein. So it's actually a benefit. So that's why protein is really good for muscle retention and everything I've already talked about. So protein's great. Plus I like meat, and I like chicken, and I like steaks, and I like salmons and all that nice stuff. So it's easier for me to eat. The one thing I did, since I've been over consuming carbs for weeks and weeks and weeks, and desserts and rice and potatoes and all that, what I did is I really, really lowered my carbs at first. I would just do a tiny bit of rice or a tiny bit of potatoes, a little bit of sugar, and I would add more vegetables, which will have more volume, and they're way more filling. So you can eat the vegetables and feel satiated with the high protein in the vegetables. It also gives you fiber and kind of helps everything move along with the micronutrients. So that's what I did. And then after a couple weeks, I just cut out the starchy carbs, which are rice and potatoes and everything like that. I cut that out. No breads at all. That's definitely a no-go if you're trying to lose weight. Like, you can do it, but it makes it harder. It also makes you want those things more. That's why I cut them out. I have an insatiable desire for sweets and donuts and just stuff like that. Especially once I get done eating, I want something right after to just make me feel better. Honestly, I just want something that craves it and ends the meal. So what I did is I just cut out carbs. I would eat a steak with some mushrooms, spinach, and onions, or asparagus or something like that with some salmon and some just mixed vegetables, frozen mixed vegetables if they're easy, just to get more volume. If you ate a lot of fruit, which is I still do, which is great for just to get your vitamin C in. I was doing a whole kiwi kick. We did a lot of pineapple. We did mangoes, and then we did some cantaloupe. Just buy a mixed fruit and just eat that. Don't get the goddamn fruit salad out of the can, though. So much sugar in that. Get real fruit. Now, number 2, that was a lot covered in. So number 2, this is going to be movement. You create a calorie deficit by controlling your calories and then just expending energy to where you have more energy used per day, but your calories are under that. So what I did is I did 10,000 steps a day. Your phone, most people's phones, has some sort of step tracker on it. I know all iPhones come with it. You can download the health thing. It's free. It's not 100% accurate, so I'm not even going to dive in that, but it does work. So what I did is beforehand, I looked at how many I had, and I would have 4,000, 3,000, 5,000, 6,000 steps per day for weeks on end. I wasn't getting enough stuff. I wasn't getting, even though I went to the gym every day for not every day, 4 to 5 times a week, for an hour, hour and a half, got my strength training in. Sometimes I would walk on the cardio, but it wasn't very much. I started tracking all that, and I saw where I was, so then I just said 10,000 steps a day is a great goal. It's a very doable goal. It does take some time, but it's a very doable goal. So I definitely recommend adding 10,000 steps a day to your everyday. If you want to lose weight, this is one of the best ways. It's also a really good way to help your joints, help your digestion. Like after you eat a meal, go take a 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 minute walk. If you have animals, you need to walk a dog, go take your dogs a longer walk when you can. And the goal is throughout the day, what we would do is me and my wife, I would eat and we would eat, and then 5 minutes later, we would get up and go take a walk. We had a little routine we would do, even though we moved throughout the middle of this whole cut. We moved houses out the middle of this whole cut. We changed it up. We walked around. We find our route on the new place, and we just do a route every night. Don't look at your phone. Don't walk around and play on videos. Call a friend. Call somebody. Call a loved one. Call one of your family members. Talk to somebody. Take somebody with a walk with you. It's a great time to disconnect and unwind and just take a slow walk. You can take a fast-paced walk if that's what you like. You can go for a run. If you like it and you want to do it and it works for you and you enjoy it, that is the trick. If you want to go on a bike ride, go on a bike ride. I've said this many times in other videos, but you can't beat something you enjoy. That's the number one thing. If you enjoy it, you'll do it way more. If you absolutely hate it, it's going to be really hard for you to do. So find something you enjoy and make sure you're getting a tracked amount to hit a certain amount of calories. So I think 450 to 600 calorie deficit, depending on how hard you walk in the person. So that is really good. It creates that deficit more. So you're allowed to eat a little bit more food and do this. So what I did is I just kept my deficit here and added more movement to make a harder deficit. That was my thing. I wanted a pretty hard deficit because I can be okay with that hard of a deficit. It doesn't affect me that much. One thing I would recommend is non-negotiable goals. Those 10,000 steps a day should be 10,000 steps from the day you start until the day you end with no excuses in between. When you start giving yourself stuff that you like, well, I didn't really need to do that last night. I didn't do it. I missed 2 or 3. That's unacceptable. If it's important to you and you want to do it, make sure that you are doing it every single day and you're accountable and you can show yourself on whatever app you have. You can look at it and I had 10,000 steps every single day, and mine is right here. I've done 10,000 steps every single day, more, I think it's up to 15,000, maybe 16,000 some days. And now it's just by accident. But I did 10,000 steps, non-negotiable, every day for the 9 weeks. And it's really, really, really helped out. There are times where I would be in bed and I would have to I'm at 9,500 steps. I'd have to get up and go take my 10,000 steps. Or there was times where I was at 7,000. I would get up and go take my walk. And a lot of times I just would walking. I would enjoy it. It's great. It gets the blood flowing. It's really good for after a meal. Good. Push your digestion. It's great for that. Get everything circulated. It's good for your joints. If you're someone who has a sedentary job, fucking walk. I don't care what anyone says that walking is not exercise. Walking may not be exercise for an elite athlete that runs and does other things. It won't really create that much of a difference for them. But for most people in the country and in the world, walking is just going to burn more calories and it's going to be just a great way of exercise. We as a whole don't really move around that much as we need to. So our country in the U.S. is not made for that. It's very big on cars and long distances and everything. So get your walks in. They're really good for you. They're great for you. Our bodies are made to walk, and that's why you need to get your walks in. Do that. It'll help a lot with your fat loss and your mental clarity. The last thing I really, really need to push home with this is your consistency. Consistency is key in everything in life. If you want to be good at anything, it has to be consistency. If you want to see change, you have to do long-term consistency. If you want to do 9 weeks, then do 9 weeks. If you want to do longer. But there can't be 1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week on, 1 week off, 2 weeks on, 1 week off. You have to do 9 weeks consistent. And if you really want to get good results, you do this for a very long time. I'm not saying the weight loss. You just stay healthy and move along and pay attention for a long time. Me, for myself, at being 5'8", I've dropped from 201 down to 179, and I still have a little bit of love handles left, a little bit of that lower abdomen. Those things are the last things to go, especially on men. They're the hardest thing to go. It's where we store most of our fat. Women's are a lot of lower body and then their legs and their glutes and hamstrings. So you just got to push if you want to get really lean. And what you do is I would recommend no more than 6, depending on you, it's individual, I wouldn't recommend no more than 16 to 24 weeks. Then I would do a maintenance phase. That'll allow your body to get the energy back in, get your food back in, speed up your digestion and your metabolism. That way your body can go back to burning fat. Because if you do it for too long, your body will slow down and it'll drain out all your hormones and everything. So you want to make sure that you're doing a good distance time, but I would 12 to get good results for 12 to 16 to 24 weeks, depending on your body. And then just maintenance for a while. And if you see your body weight go back up, you can stay in maintenance and your body composition can change where you lose body fat, but you stay about the same weight. And then you'll see your skin change and things pop up. Your abs are always shown in the kitchen. Like, you can't see your abs, you can't see your obliques and certain muscles and veins in your chest if you're not eating right if you're not doing these things. So you have to eat right. It's number one. It's number one for your health, and it's number one for how you look. Stay consistent with everything you do. Same thing with weight training. If you want to get stronger, you have to stay consistent with pushing yourself. If you're trying to put on muscle, you have to eat the food, all the food, you have to shovel it in, and you have to train hard consistently, and that progress and the progression throughout that is what's going to matter for you. Cheat meals. When you first start, cheat meals are a big thing, and you hear it, and you just first start, you don't get a cheat meal. Let's be real. If you're someone that has fat on you, and you've been doing this for 5 to 6 days, and it's a weekend, and everybody's going out, you don't get a cheat meal. If you don't need a refeed meal, you should earn it. You should at least do 2 full weeks, 14 full days of you eating on plan in a calorie deficit, and then you'll see results, and then you might need a little bit of extra food in there. And you can eat these good foods, and you can stay in a calorie deficit. I've done this for a while, so with me, was able to have all the good food. I had steaks, I had cheeseburgers, actually I had banana nut bread like the last week of my cut. And then we drink some wine, we had some pasta. We did these things throughout this entire cut. I ate cookies. I'm not saying I was sitting here every fucking day eating cookies and drinking wine. I would do 6 days straight of a pretty hard calorie deficit. And then on a Sunday, when we had family dinner, because I love having family dinner with my wife, I would cook or she would cook, and having knowledge enough to be able to be a couple hundred calories over my deficit, I would be okay. And then I could eat, and the next day, you go right back the next day just on your food. You don't take a bigger cut. You don't continue. The next day, you go right back on your plan, and you just keep eating. And what that does, it's going to keep your body going like this probably. You stay up, you have days up, you have down, depending on your goal and how hard it is. But I was able to achieve 20 pounds with eating all the food, had a couple drinks. At the beginning, it's easier. As you go, your body has less fat to burn, so it gets a little bit harder, and your deficit should come down a little bit, or your movement should go up a little bit. So you've worked really hard, you got all this fat off of you or whatever, now you're feeling really good about yourself. A couple little tricks. These are mostly for men, because that's all I know. If you want to know anything else, my wife can tell you all about that for the females. But for the men, go get a tan. If you get a tan, it'll make you look so much better. This is why bodybuilders on stage put really, really dark tan on. It looks so much better. Everyone looks better with a tan. If you need to put on a fake tanner, which I actually just put on a fake tanner, I'll be honest. It's Florida, and it's not hot enough to be outside laying around, but if you want to put on a fake tan real quick, do that. It'll show off. If you want to go to the beach and you want to lay by the pool and you want to get a real tan, do that. If you want to go get a spray tan or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. But that will make you look a little more fresh. It also shows off a lot more of your definition. This is why bodybuilders, like I said, get tan. It shows off the cuts and legs and your lines between your abs a little bit more and all that. And the more lean you are, the more you'll see that, obviously. But if you get a tan, you'll look better. If you get a natural tan, sun's great for your body. Just don't overdo it. Number 2, for men, is definitely shave. A lot of men don't like this, and I know a lot of people don't want to be shaved. If you want to show off muscles and look a little bit more muscular, if you shave your body, your legs, or your arms, your back, chest, abs, and all that nice, all your good little spots, you should do that anyway, all your good little spots, it will show everything off, and you will look a lot better. So if you shave and tan together, you'll look way, way better. Shave and tan, get everything together, do that. There's a lot of dudes out there that are really hairy, and they can they can look like a man with a hairy chest. I'm not extremely hairy. I have fuzzy ass legs. I just shaved it. It took forever. It shows off more muscle. The hair breaks up the line, so you really can't see the muscle. So if you really want to show off all your work and you feel like you're looking really good, you want to just shave your body. Shave everything so you'll see the lines in your legs, all the hard work. And the farther you go and the harder you work, the more will show. And I'll say the last thing is find clothes that show off your body and your hard work. You know, if you're a guy and you want to show off your muscles and your arms, you have nice arms, you've been working hard and they look good, your shoulders, you want something that comes good here. It's not super boxy, it comes in a little bit, and the arms are up just a little bit more, that shows off the arms. If it's hanging down really far, like down in here, you can't see your arm at all. So same thing with the legs. If you have something that comes up right at the bottom of the quads or a little bit tops, if you have good legs and you want to show the quads off, you want to show your separation, the shorts should be a little bit over the quad sweep. Some guys have more higher insertion, lower insertion, so that depends on you. But if that's your thing, rock that shit, man. If you've worked hard, it's all about you. It's your life. Don't let anybody else tell you what to do. And that is all for this video. I hope you really, really liked this video. I hope you got at least one thing from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you one little tip. Maybe it even motivated you to start. These things are very simple. Sometimes they're just not easy. This is very simple plans. You just need to put in a little bit of effort if this is something you want to do. If it's not something you want to do, this ain't your fucking video, to be honest with you. So if this is something you're looking for, this is what I did. These are the things that work great for me. I'm going to enjoy my Thanksgiving week. I am going home on vacation. I'm going to eat some food. And then a week after that, we go back on plan and we come right back down again. And then we enjoy our life. That's it. So have fun. Enjoy your life. Eat the turkey. Eat the pumpkin pie. Just don't get too crazy with it. But we'll see you next time in a training video because we need to get training together. So next time we will train together. I got you.